Hi listeners, welcome back to Insuright Knowledge Series, where you will be learning about general insurance. On the topic of motor insurance, now I'll be talking about policy exclusions. Every insurance policy has two broad sections. One is coverage, another is exclusions. As insured, we are generally more interested in coverage, but it is very much essential that we also know equally well about exclusions. Coverage will tell you what the policy covers, and exclusions will tell you what the policy does not cover. So we should know about both coverage and exclusions to have a balanced view about the policy. Now under motor insurance, what are all the exclusions? First exclusion is when the vehicle is used outside the geographical area of India and in case a loss or damage happens, policy does not pay for that claim. Of course, there may be situations where the vehicle may be used in the neighboring countries, say Nepal or Bhutan, for example. In such cases, you have to approach the insurance company and take an approval for that. Okay. 2. Consequential loss is not covered. Now, what do you mean by consequential loss? When a loss or damage happens, two possibilities are there, two consequential losses. One is the vehicle meets with the damage. Policy will pay for that, claim for the damages. But the consequential loss, what the policy says is, one is loss of use of the vehicle following an accident and loss of market value of the vehicle. Suppose when the vehicle is damaged in an accident and it is left for repairs, the insured is deprived of the use of the vehicle for about say 1 week or 10 days or 15 days or 20 days, depending on the extent of repairs. In such a scenario, insured may have to hire another vehicle. He may have to spend additional expenditure towards personal transportation. That is not covered. Another is that when the vehicle meets with accident, it is repaired, the service history will reveal it, that it has already undergone certain accident and it has undergone accidental repairs have taken place for that vehicle. So that because of that accident and subsequent repair, the market value of the vehicle can come down. So such a decrease in the market value is also not covered. Okay. Third one, policy does not pay for any contractual liability assumed by the insured. What does this mean? See, the insurer pay only for that loss which is provided under the financial loss which is covered under the policy. Now suppose, let us look at this scenario. After an accident, we leave the vehicle to the repairer. The repairer will prepare an estimate, and when he is preparing the estimate, he is going to include so many parts and labor, and there can be many parts which is not connected to the damages. Insurance company will only pay for those damages which is happened due to the accident. For other parts, it will not pay. Suppose when you leave the vehicle and you agree to that estimate, the insured agrees to the estimate, which then the problem here is insurance company will not pay for all the parts mentioned in the estimate. It will only pay for those parts which are damaged under the damage due to accident and what the policy covers. As a result, what happens? Insured is going to pay more than what insurance company is going to allow. So this is something which the insured should be very careful. Whenever you leave a vehicle for the repairs, do not accept the estimate blindly. Please consult with the insurance company. In consultation, insurance company and insurance surveyors, and after they ask the repairer to go ahead, you give the consent. Okay, the consent of the insurer for repair is very much essential in this context. Then, if the vehicle meets with an accident and at the time of the accident there is a violation of driver's clause and limitation as to use clause, then the claim can be prejudiced. We have already discussed in detail in the earlier talks about what is limitation as to use clause and what is driver's clause. Kindly check that content and understand the significance of driver's clause and limitation as to use clause. What is important is these driver's clause and limitation as to use clause should never be violated. And in case of any violation at the time of loss, insurance company can reject the claim. Then there are two more broad violations which is generally mentioned in almost all the insurance policies. One is loss or damage due to war and loss or damage due to nuclear reaction. So war means when the company talks about war, insurance company says about war, it means war, civil war, rebellion, insurrection, military power taking over, all these kind of consequences. They say war and war-like operations. So if any loss or damage happens in the context of a war, it is not covered. Likewise, if there are any damages due to a nuclear reaction, then also the policy does not pay for any claim. So these are all the broad exclusions which the policy does not pay for. Please be aware of it. There can be situations when insurance companies can invoke these, points out that these are all the exclusions, and you may lose the claim. You have to be very conscious about it. Apart from this, I would like to say one more thing. These exclusions are for the policy, entire policy. There is a specific exclusion under the motor own damage section. Motor own damage section does not pay for depreciation. And when there is, already we have discussed this in the earlier session, the parts replaced during the repairs are subject to depreciation. Insurance company does not pay for that depreciated amount. Okay. Then most importantly, if the vehicle is driven under the influence of alcohol or intoxication, then also company doesn't pay for it. So what I would like to tell you is, please be aware of these exclusions. And from a personal experience, many a times claims have been rejected citing these exclusions. That means these policy exclusions are insurance companies are widely quoting these exclusions to reject the claim, means insured is violating these many of the policy conditions and terms that results in the exclusions. So be aware of it. Thank you very much.